again. Check the record. Let's begin. Put on by the people.
Hello, hello, hello. Here we are. Well, let's look at it. Thursday, September 23rd. We are live. Tom and Q Show, episode 33.
33. Scottie Pippen.
33, Scottie. Oh, I could come up. David Fulcher.
That's my all-time favorite Bengal.
Mine too. Well,
when they let him go, that was the fall of the Bengals. He was the last leader to go, and I will forever think that when he got released, they had no leadership, and that's when the Bengals turned into what they did.
You're probably right. They released quite a few people because he was on one of those the last real killer Bengals team.
Yeah.
So here we are, episode 33, September 23rd. We have no wives again today. Jess still doing all right?
Yeah, our anniversary's Monday.
Nice.
So,
nice. Friend of the show, Kevin Carley, Trisha Carley, their anniversary was yesterday.
Yes.
So happy anniversary,
guys.
Do you have plans for your anniversary yet?
No, we'll probably do a dinner. We'll probably do something, just the two of us. Something that we like to do is have lunches together as often as we can. But we do have, we're flying out of town next weekend.
Okay.
So we're going to go up to UMass and hang out with Paige and have our little getaway as well. So not so much on the day, but we do have plans, yes.
Good. So we're coming again live to you right now. You can check us out on Facebook Live every Thursday, approximately about 11 o'clock. On top of that, we are also in podcast form now for the last 3 episodes. So you can catch this episode here if you missed it today. We'll go live at some point tomorrow on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Amazon as well. And thank you to our show contributors, local legends, great clothing, great gear,
great message,
great dude. White Oak Productions. I hope that they enjoy being in Las Vegas this weekend. Great weekend to be there. Can't wait to hear some stories about that. But White Oak Productions, weddings, parties, funerals. I have to say that every time now.
It's right?
But any of your DJing needs, and then Fretboard Brewing Company, Q's representing his Fretboard t-shirt. Check them out. Best beer, number 9 beer in the world, but in my opinion, best brewery in the world. You know, I'm a little biased, but
Pint Day. What is that? That's all that floating around.
Yeah.
When is that? Is that Monday or Tuesday?
Boy.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to look it up real quick. Jessica's favorite interrupted a flow just to look something up.
Go with it.
Fretboard Brewing. Boom. Ohio Pint Day 2021 returns Tuesday. So next Tuesday, the 28th, is Ohio Pint Day. They've got limited edition. I will share this on my Instagram story. That is a sweet pint glass. I'm not going to lie. So Tuesday, Pint Day, Ohio Pint Day.
And enjoy the food at Smoked Out Cincy as well. So get some brew, check the food out. Now, this is going to segue kind of in. We're going to go a little bit out of order here, okay? Only because we were talking about the changes of the season, right? So let's spin the wheel. Changes of the season and talking about beer.
2004.
Like, I don't really have a
country
specified beer season because I'm not really a beer snob, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Right.
You know, I have my brands that I like. Typically, one for the most part. You know, I'm a BL guy, and you know, but in terms of breweries, Fretboard is the best, right? I went there. We went there. They kind of opened my eyes to
number 20
to some different flavors. But you hear a lot of people, Alexa, play She Thinks She Needs Me by Andy Griggs.
She Thinks She Needs Me by Andy Griggs.
So
Amazon Music.
I was on TikTok the other day. We were talking about this before the show, called TikTok, and I love the, like, some of the skits that some people do, like Charlie Barron's. If you don't know who he is, the You Betcha guy on there, like, they do some awesome, like, skits on just everyday life, right? And if you're like me and you have the ability to kind of make fun of yourself, right? And just making fun. I like making fun of myself. I like making fun of other people, of other things, right? I just like cutting it up.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this TikTok, and these guys come about. They're each acting as if they are the season.
Ah,
Right.
Interesting.
So you've got summer, right? It's a dude on a beach, tank top, toes in the sand, got himself a light beer.
Like a little summer shandy.
Yeah, sunglasses
Sure.
on, he's hanging out, right? Well, then fall shows up at the beach, and this guy, he's got brown boots on, jeans, a sleeve, a sleeveless puffy coat,
Okay.
you know, with some long sleeves, yeah. And he comes in and he's drinking a pumpkin spice latte, and they just start making fun of each other nonstop.
Yeah.
And then the summer guy goes, "Well, I'm getting another beer," and he cracks open the light beer or whatever. And the guy looks at him, he goes, "That's not a beer," and he pulls out like a fancy bottle of some Oktoberfest lager, right? So it is so weird to me how when the seasons change, like my tastes don't change, but but other people's do. Like mine stays the same. Like what's the deal with pumpkin spice latte?
I am not a fan at all.
I don't like pumpkin pie, so
I love pumpkin pie. So the thing, and it breaks my heart because this time of year, you have warm apple cider.
yeah.
It doesn't get anywhere near the love of anything pumpkin spice, and it's superior on so many levels. I'm choosing apple 9.5 out of 10 times because I do like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
But I like apple pie better. I like apple cider better than anything pumpkin. I've tried pumpkin spice beer. Awful to me. I don't like it. I think it's nasty. Pumpkin spice anything to me, I don't like it. So, and if you do like it,
Do you?
enjoy it. Do you enjoy
you?
it? Love it. I'm going to go with apple anything. Candy apples, caramel apples, apple cider all day. 10 times out of 10. I wish there was and there might be. I mean, I know they got your caramely flavored cinnamon caramel. Is there a caramel apple coffee? I would try it. Does anybody know about it? Tags. I know they're local.
They've got all that.
Put something on them. We need a caramel apple to rival this overhyped, overrated pumpkin spice anything.
I'm not a fan of pumpkin. I don't like carving pumpkins. I don't like it's gooey, it's gross.
If you put the glove on, get the scooper in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like that. I don't like pumpkin pie. It's too mushy, right? I don't like pumpkin spice latte. I don't like pretty much pumpkin anything.
Yeah, I could tear up some pumpkin pie.
Now, I like the smell
Yeah.
of like some, but I'm with you. I am more of an apple spice, apple pie, apple, name it, apple, like
Apple Jolly Ranchers.
Now, that's funny you say that because that was where I was going with this next.
So Crown has an apple flavor, which
Okay.
is amazing.
So my buddy brought over a peach flavored Crown over the weekend.
I had it.
His face was, and we tried it. I enjoyed it,
I love it. 1992.
but I'm more of the
Rock.
straight guy. You know, I
Yeah.
like the cowboy.
Look at that. 1992 Rock #1.
Let's do it.
Def Leppard. No shirt, Q? Oh, nice shirt. Yes. Thanks,
So-
Celia.
1992, rock, top rock.
So, Cecilia, since we see you here, does Fretboard have a fall seasonal apple beer of any kind? Let us know, because we are apple fans, not pumpkin spice.
Bear with me here. 1992, top 100. Okay.
Pearl Jam? Nirvana?
No, you close. Nirvana's number 2 with one of my favorites, "Come As You Are." This makes sense. I'm not a huge. Oh man, there's some good 92.
Stone Temple Pilots. That's some
That
great
was like
music.
the opening of
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
grunge
That's-
rock. Man, this I mean,
Northwest region coming in strong.
I get why this song's number 1. I'm not a huge. I don't know why. A lot of people are. I'm not a huge fan of this band.
Okay.
It's only me. Again, we go back to You Do You. This is only me. Alexa, play "Under the Bridge" by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili
Some of their stuff I jam out to, but yes, I'm with you. Like,
It's personal preference. Like they come on, I don't listen to them.
so U2 is similar as well. Like, it's one of those bands like I just don't see it. But the older I get, the nostalgia's there, and it's kind of I appreciate some of their music. But yeah, I guess they were the arts of music, right? So if you're on a different level of listening to music, sure. But just for your mainstream pop culture type music,
Okay, so
I'm with you.
you just made me think of something. So we talked about a little bit of beer being in season. We talked about coffee, pumpkin spice, how those tastes kind of change, right, over time. And
Cecilia, you brought a tear to my eye.
I like that beer.
You absolutely encouraged everything we believe in. We love you. We love Fretboard. LOL.
Man,
We
you're
did put Angry Orchard apple cider on with so many people asking for cider. We are releasing our Smashing Pumpkin at the end of the week, though. It's basically our Trey Amber with pumpkin infused.
So all I
So
heard
they're
there.
gonna go. They're gonna
Here's what I
rival.
heard. Cecilia, you guys have screwed up Trey. That's all I heard there. Because that beer's phenomenal. Knowing that I'm not a beer snob, right?
Yeah.
But that one there was awesome. Awesome. And you put pumpkin spice in it. Man, that's messing up a good thing. That's messing up a good thing.
I'm glad there's a trend of people demanding the apple cider.
Nicole likes the Angry Orchard.
Yeah?
I'm a one trick pony.
Can you infuse some apple into Bud Light?
It's probably already done.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
If it's not,
It's just not popular
we should
enough.
patent it, right?
Let's do it. Bud Light, you listening?
So they have a beer season. They have a different season for different types of flavors. Man, what's your opinion on seasons for music? Do you think that exists?
Oh, man. Christmas, the obvious. Boom. Let's move that out of the way. No. There's driving music, there's workout music, and there's like chill music. And I think you drive and work out and chill all seasons, right? The only thing I think is Christmas music, and then all other music.
I mean,
I
there's
don't know.
Christmas music, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking about, again, this is just me.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of have like seasonal favorites. And maybe it's because from watching music videos and such, like I think,
Yeah, I would say there's a summertime music, little funner, little more energy, little
yeah, it's a little more upbeat, little
Yoo-hoo rolling on the floorboard.
little hip hop,
Yeah.
you know, a little beachy country, little Buffett style.
All right, you got.
I
my
can't
gear
really
turned,
get into
man.
that. I mean, I guess you can kind of get into that. It kind of,
Buffett, yeah. I don't listen to Buffett no one. Yeah.
And-
Now that I think it out longer, yes.
unless I'm traveling to a beach or someplace, then I turn that music on because I got to get myself,
Yeah.
I got to get my mind right.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're talking about the fall, like I probably play more rock, heavy metal, old country in the fall and winter
Yeah.
than I do in the summertime. Like Nirvana in the fall, Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle with the NFL, you know, like my kids laugh.
Yeah.
Like I'll get up on Sunday and I won't say her name out right now so she won't play it, but I'll tell our device to play Welcome to the Jungle while I'm making breakfast. And the kids will come down and it's like, hey man, you got to get hype. If you ain't hype,
Go back to bed.
you know, and Blake gets a kick out of it because I'm a huge sports fan. So when my teams play, I get excited,
Yeah.
right? Like, I look forward to it. Like, I look forward to 2 Saturdays from now
By the
when.
way, I can notify you when this artist releases new music. Just say, follow Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No thanks. Our tech girl just clearly did not listen to our conversation about
She could have at least buzzed in.
our lukewarm flavor for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
But like, so the different styles, different flavors, different everything kind of adds. It's amazing to me how weather and atmosphere changes.
yeah, it does. It definitely does. 2004 top 40, number 20. Man. Yeah, it definitely does, man. And I have a inside rageful side, and when I'm cooped up in the wintertime, I think I do need that release, so I do listen to heavier music. And my driving music is similar to my summer music, just free of thought, just roll and go, right?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. There's driving music too. It ultimately depends on where you're going.
Speaking of music,
Alexa, play "I Write Sins, Not Tragedies."
Here's I Write Sins Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco on Amazon Music.
That's what you get when you get number 20.
I know this song. So yeah, speaking of music,
Yeah,
and speaking of the beginning of our show, we there was a post.
there was a debate
Yep, there was,
that we were included in.
and Jake Haverkamp added us to the conversation.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
Jake.
kind words too.
And thank you, Pam Newport, for putting these types of questions out there. Woot with a T or whoop with an MP, there it is. What is better?
What's your opinion?
I am whoop, there it is.
So you are a WHOOMP.
Yes,
You're wrong.
by tag team.
Yes, you're wrong.
So
it's
95 cents.
Woot.
So we disagree on pumpkin pie, which is one of the rare occasions we disagree, and we're going to disagree on woot or whoop.
Whoop sounds stupid. Nobody whoops.
Woot.
People woot.
Whoop.
See?
I don't know, man.
Ric Flair didn't go, woo!
He didn't woot either.
He wooed.
Woo! There was nothing on the
Yeah.
end. It just kept going.
Whoop! No, it's not whoop. Nobody says whoop.
So is your argument on woot sounds better than whoop?
Yes, woot. Woot, there it is. Woot,
My
there it
argument
is.
is
Thought
much
you knew.
deeper. Like, I listened to both songs,
Go for it.
and the bars of whoop, there it is.
Wait, we have a third. Okay, so Jacob, and Cecilia, both are
Whoop,
saying
they put a P
whoop.
on the end.
I would argue more for whoop than I would whoop. I could be swayed into whoop.
Yeah, I don't like the whoop.
The M sound in there.
Whoop, whoop,
Now,
whoop.
we played it, and I know what Alexa thinks, but I could be swayed towards Jake and Cecilia's whoop. Whoop,
whoop,
there,
dudes.
whoop, there it is.
Whoop.
And actually, you know what? I bet you on every occasion that I probably will straddle the line between whoop and whoop. I'm probably more of a whoop guy now that they said that.
Oh, yeah. The word alone, whoop sounds, I don't know, woot with a T. I don't know. I've never listened to the word. The songs as a whole, though, I think there's better writing in whoop. And the beats are similar. I mean, whatever, coin toss on who takes that. But just listening to the lyrics and the songs from beginning to end, I think there's much more creativity. So I'm going to go with Whoop by Tag Team over Woot by 95 South as a better song.
Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop. There's only one way to actually find.
The M is silent.
There's only Alexa. Play Whoop. There it is.
Whoop. There it is. A tag team.
Tag
on
team.
Amazon
See?
Music.
When you just say it, it just goes a tag team. Tag team. Back again. Man, it just starts off.
They are back again because they're eating ice cream in the kitchen.
Yeah, and they got called back. 95 South, they didn't get called back. Whoop, there it is, was actually released before Whoop, there it is.
So we're really not getting anywhere
No.
with this debate. You have your Whoop people, your Whoop people, and your Whoop people.
Yeah. Which turns us into why we never discuss goats, why we never discuss... Rarely do we discuss this or that because it's...
You could add that to the list.
Yeah, we rarely discuss this or that because it's a never-ending... You do you. Enjoy what you like in your life. And roll with it.
I'm pausing because I want to hear.
Hey, old school, because I'm an old fool who's so cool. That's just something you say in your everyday.
Yes.
What lines
Now,
do you
see,
say
that was a
out-
Whoop.
Oh, okay.
That's a Whoop. Whoop.
They were released like the same year, which is hilarious to me. A little louder.
That was Whoop.
Shaka laka,
I don't think we're gonna get to the
shaka
end of this, 'cause
laka,
I heard
shaka
three
laka,
different
shaka
versions
laka,
right there.
Shaka laka. Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
That's it.
Like there's so many lines from this song that you just that word association that you just carry off into your life.
I don't know which one I like better. I really don't. I know I'm more of a Whoop now. See, Whoop. See, he's a Whoop guy. Interesting. Very interesting. So
He's
we're on
commanding you to dance. I mean, he says it in his lyrics.
we're on podcast now, right?
Yes.
So Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. You can always go back and listen to the show live on Facebook too and YouTube. But it's interesting, kind of going in a podcast form, right? And it's brand new, so we're still pushing that podcast content out.
Yes. Our audience.
So last week, to give a little bit kind of behind the curtain, when you're looking at this stuff, you're looking at downloads, and they're not great. There's not a lot of them, right? We're not going to sit here.
We
and
don't care. We're quality, not quantity.
Yeah, we're not going to sit here and blow smoke up anybody's behind saying, hey, we're not going to lie to you. We're just going to shoot it straight, right? So last week, I was able to upload and create the podcast to go live on Friday. And so it goes live, and then I didn't look at any of the stats or anything until you got here this morning. And, the first week we had, when we were kind of talking about kind of back to basics, originally we had 7 people had looked at that, and we're now up to 9, as more content gets out there. The September 11th, I think we're at 9 last week. We're now up to 11. Last week's episode, when we talked about homecoming and that stuff, we're up to 4. Now, the big thing from last week was not so much the number, but where. So, it's more
I agree, Jacob.
where it's coming from, right? And the amazing thing was, without little push, without, we don't pay advertisers, nobody pays us, necessarily. To have somebody in Frankfurt, Germany, download, and it's like, hey, is it an accident? Right? Is that an accident that they, whatever?
That is the question.
So
I think that answer is coming.
this week, the big question was, again, where? Where are people downloading this? Because there was only 4,
Right?
right? And I didn't download it this week, so shame on me, right?
No, that's good. That skews the stats.
It is. I should probably check it to make sure everything sounds okay, but I didn't. Whatever. But whoever you are in Frankfurt, Germany, thank you for listening again. Back again. Check it, wreck it. Let's begin. Right?
Yes. See, we steal lines from this. Jacob nailed it. Woot from 95 South. He said it sounds like it's recorded in a basement somewhere. I'm not going to argue that. I
Hey,
think
man,
he's right.
everything was recorded in a basement somewhere. Don't forget that. Nirvana,
Us.
Garage. Yeah, Tom and Q, more
So
importantly. right?
Frankfurt, Germany, man. We're remaining global. It was not an accident.
But that's not all.
That is not all. What else are we
We were
doing, man?
also downloaded
But wait, there's
in
more.
Mumbai, India.
Mumbai, India. Anybody know where that is?
India.
It's between Asia and Europe.
So not only are people listening, two other people apparently downloading in the U.S., but there's two people worldwide that are downloading. So if you are in India, Asia, Europe, one of the 7, or do we still have 7 continents, or did they change that too? Because
I'm gonna go. Yeah.
yeah, because it's funny because I was having an argument with Austin. He's in 6th grade, and we were talking about he's going through geography.
Okay.
Right? And I remember.
Are we smarter than a 5th grader?
Yeah, right. I remember back when we were in school. Wasn't there 4 oceans?
Yep.
Atlantic, Pacific,
Antarctic
Antarctic, and Indian.
and India. Yep.
Okay. No, apparently, according to him, they've added 2 more. I couldn't tell you what they were because this just kind of came to my head. But apparently, maybe countries disappeared and an ocean took over. I don't know. These are questions I asked him.
Or they just. Well, this part of this ocean is
It wasn't big enough
favored
before.
by this, so let's just give it another name. Like the locals have just kind of called it something.
Got
so
it. Global warming. Global warming has brought 2 more oceans onto our planet.
That's what it is. So is global warming making water rise, or the fact that we have 2 more brand new oceans forced themselves in here that made the water rise?
Is the question. Woot, that is the question.
Interesting perspective.
What came, chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Chicken or the egg?
Yeah, I did not know there was 2003
And-
6 oceans.
And he's just giving
I
it
know
to
there's
me.
seas, like what?
He's giving it to me,
2003
giving it to me.
hip-hop.
Here. Could be good.
It will not be. There it is, because that was 1990, which would have been amazing if we'd have landed on that. Number 2.
Let's do it. This is going to be a
So
good one.
03 hip hop. Number 2.
Any
No, I
guess?
was not aware of that. I'm gonna. 2003. I don't know, man. I was out of my. R. Kelly.
It's R. Kelly.
Yeah.
It's R. Kelly. Alexa, play Ignition by R. Kelly.
Oh, I love it.
Remix by R. Kelly
There you go.
on Amazon Music.
Usually I don't do this. But,
So, thank you to all of you that have downloaded the podcast and listened to it. We did it because, not that we feel that we're uber important, but we just wanted to give somebody something to listen to, whether they're working at home, kind of bring people back. We talk a lot about the 90s. We talk about stuff going on now. So, different perspectives.
yes.
Okay,
So this has Atlantic, Indian, Arctic, Pacific, and Southern Ocean.
so 5?
5.
I get it. Things change. Textbooks change. I get all that.
And this says, are there 5 or 7 oceans? I'm gonna go with 5.
I'm sticking with 4.
The Arctic Ocean.
D. Smith, teacher, Corey Middle School, taught me, because he taught me geography, and he said it just like that, geography.
Geography.
Not geography, it was geography. Super nice guy, but probably the most clueless teacher in terms of like everything else going on.
Right.
We won't get into that kind of stuff, but like hilarious stories for another day in D. Smith's geography class.
What's the difference between the Arctic Ocean, Antarctic Ocean, and Southern Ocean?
I never heard
Go
of the
ahead.
Southern
Back-
Ocean.
I'm sorry. I never ever anything.
There was 4.
You there.
Maverick and Goose didn't fly over the Southern Ocean. They flew over the Indian Ocean,
Right.
right? The Titanic didn't sink in the Southern Ocean. It's the Atlantic.
Right.
Hey, again, not just a hat rack up here, right? So it's beep. Well, you know what? Let's talk about last week, and then we'll get into some of that other stuff. But last week was homecoming for
Yep.
Corrigan High School.
How'd the cookout go at the Tolby house?
Oh, it was good. It was good. So we got Cervati's lunch meat tray, and there was a bunch of cookies.
Get
and
some Cervati's pretzels.
Yeah, Cervati's pretzels.
It's a must.
Oh, they're fantastic. All that stuff, and it turned out it was going to be like eight kids and then their families. So 4 guys, 4 girls, their families come over to take pictures.
Yep.
Good time to kind of meet people and just chit chat and talk about stuff like that. And that turned into 10 couples coming over, and so those 10 and then their families, again, all great people. House isn't huge.
Right.
Fortunately, the weather was nice. The food was gone super fast.
Good. That's
Conversation was good. We had the outside patio with some football on. Football's a great icebreaker.
Yep.
Especially when you're talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's a great icebreaker because you either love them or you hate them.
they will toy with your emotions if you love them.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a good icebreaker for people here in Ohio. The kids looked great. They looked awesome. I think they had a ton of fun. As we said last week, they were doing it outside.
Yeah.
Right.
How'd that go?
So
I
they
forgot
were-
about that.
Good. And you and I have talked about this before. They had a blast. The weather was perfect for it. They had plenty of help. They kind of opened the concession stand so kids could come off and eat and drink. They didn't know what we talked about wearing heels. They didn't allow heels or anything like
Okay.
that. So I think a lot of the
That's fair.
girls had
Took
switched
pictures
off.
in them, flipped over to their
Switched off into the like sandals or Birkenstocks or something like that. So
Do they have a hey dude for a girl yet?
Nicole's got a pair.
All right.
Yeah, I do not. Still do not. I will not be swayed. I will not be bullied. I will not be pressured into getting that lazy shoe.
All right.
Okay? I will wear my sneakers. I'll wear nice shoes. I'll wear my Timberlands.
All right.
I'll wear those.
No hey dudes.
Timberland season's probably pretty much over for me because that's more of a boat. Mine's more of a boat shoe.
Ah, okay.
So
95.
I probably put those away for the year. But
95 hip hop.
it was good. Like I said, the kids had a good time.
11.
And the kids were great over here. You guys can't see it out there, but we had tons of snacks for them.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about this too. So when everybody left, we kind of went up the neighborhood and hung out with Tommy at White Oak Productions, just hanging out.
Did he bring his equipment down for the?
It's always down.
So he brought it
Not
down?
for that.
Okay,
no.
okay.
No, because then they may have never left. What number?
Right. 11.
So
So that would have been like a pre-homecoming jam session, right? It's like the appetizer.
Alexa, play Boys to Men on Bended Knee.
Ooh.
I'm a huge Boys to Men guy.
By Boyz
Takes me
II Men
back, right?
on
Yeah.
Amazon Music.
But we're up there, and Austin's here, and we left him here. He was playing with a couple of neighborhood friends, whatever, and he says, "Hey," and this always happens. I don't know if your kids are or were like this, but when they're out playing with their friends, hey, can so-and-so spend the night?
Yes.
Everywhere we go,
Yes.
no matter where we go, if there is somebody's friend there, somebody's staying the night at somebody's house.
Yeah, every time I see him hanging out and I'm near the parent, I'm like, when's the question coming?
Yeah, here it comes. So Austin said, yeah, okay, fine. At that point, it was just him and 2 buddies. They can hang out down here. They brought the PlayStation down here, no problem. We go to Tommy's house, and he's got 2 beautiful daughters, right? And they're similar in age with Blake, and they hang out and they play and whatever. When's the question coming? Can Charlie and Riley stay the night at our house tonight? I'm like, you're adding 3 more. There's only basement, middle floor, and upstairs. Yeah, I don't care. They can spend. Wait for it. Then we get the call. Hey, I'm on my way home. Can
Yes.
2 of my buddies spend the night? Yes. So we had 9 kids in the house Saturday into Sunday. And again, what do we talk about? It was Bengals Sunday. The
Yep.
Bearcats had just beat Indiana, and we had the homecoming dance. I'm hyped. I get up first thing. We got to get hyped. I got 3, 6, 7, 8-year-olds sleeping on my couch downstairs, so now I'm not getting hyped there.
This is my house, dog.
Yeah.
I'm getting hyped. I don't care.
Big kid, or Austin, the middle kids are down here, so I can't come down here, like to get away and be quiet, let them sleep. Can't get hyped down here.
Hooty hoo! Time to wake up, boys.
Big kids are upstairs. Can't get hyped there. I'm like, I got to get them up somehow. So,
Welcome to the jungle.
welcome to the jungle. 2 pounds of bacon, cinnamon rolls, hash browns, and then some toasts or donuts or whatever. Like, and those kids just jump right up out.
Yep.
And then it's right back to right where we were before. Now we got 1 million people in the house.
So Pillsbury cinnamon rolls are probably my single favorite food ever.
Strong.
Ever.
Strong.
Ever. And I'm on my diet, and I'm doing well. I'm down 12 pounds.
Nice.
So I keep doing that. And one of the things I cut out is just wheat, carbs, gluten, stuff like that. And Jessica goes shopping the other day, and she comes home with 4 tubes of Pillsbury cinnamon roll. And I'm opening the fridge, and they're eye level, and I'm just like, well, Jess, why? Why'd you do this to me? She was like, oh, yeah. It's like, oh, it's so brutal. So brutal. So, yeah, that's a good way to wake them up, man. Some good food, have it smelling.
It was the only way. Right? And then it was off to Bengals Sunday. Well, actually, it was great time. We had to be at Hobner Field because Nicole was holding her fundraiser Sunday. So we got up there about noon, and there was some 12-year-old baseball going on, and setting up tables, and people brought Hobner made pizzas, and then we had drink tickets for people, and then several people brought like some awesome desserts and everything. Had a nice setup there. Great crowd. People could come and get T-shirts, get signs to put in their yard, kind of talk with her, and then Mark Gilbert was doing it too. So if they had questions, they could come up, and it was a good turnout. It was people that you knew that would come up and just kind of show their support, and there was some not surprising that they would support, but just surprising people that showed up, took the time, even if it was just for 10 minutes, to kind of come out and say, hey, I support you. So that was really cool. And we sat up there and we watched the Bengals basically
Rip your heart out.
Yes,
That they're
screw themselves
so
over. That's the
good
first time, though, that Burrow actually has ripped my heart out.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be many, but that was the first time that he did, because he literally on 3 straight passes threw interceptions on drives to go down and basically take over the game.
Yeah, so you know me, and I think everybody does by now. I am all in on defense. And when you can throw 3 consecutive passes for interceptions and give up nothing,
Yeah.
that's a monster defense.
They gave up a
What, a field goal?
no, it was a pick 6,
Oh, well,
which ended up being the killer.
the defense
Yeah. No, you're right.
stood stout on that whole situation and kept them in the game. And our boy Chase stretched the field again, got another big score. Look out for that guy. He's got the hands. Bengals defense, keep them in the games. Keep them in the games.
I think that's why I was so high on him, is because
I know they were playing a rookie quarterback, but I don't care when you turn over and you
Dalton's
hop
not
back
a
on
rookie
the
quarterback. He got hurt.
Fields. When the turnovers, Fields was in the
Well,
game.
Fields
then.
is really the one that beat him, and he didn't do much.
He had one run, one play, extended the play with his legs.
That's huge, man.
That was the backbreaker.
You're sitting there. It's like you got you had snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat.
Yep.
Right. You had looked bad. The game's over, and then all of a sudden,
We're in 3 points.
Fields makes a mistake. We score the next play. You got the deep ball to Chase. All of a sudden, it's like, man, this is just stupid. It's stupid because what were we doing before? Because the defense only bad drive was the first drive.
Yep.
And it was all third downs. Every one of them. The defense looked awesome on first and second down.
So the Bears won that chess match.
Yes, but on third down, it'd be 3rd and 11. Dalton looked like Dalton of 2015 or whatever
Yeah.
it was, where he was darn near an MVP candidate.
Right.
Just picked him apart. And then after that, he kind of looked like Andy Dalton, right? Fields comes in. You've got 3rd and 8. You're getting off the field. 3 minutes. You're going to get the ball back with 3 minutes to go. First down. Ugh,
Yep.
crushing.
Yep.
Crushing. But you do it to yourself. If you're a coach and you've coached and I've coached, rarely is there one play in that game, in any game, even though that's the big play, is that one play what cost you that victory?
Yeah. So Minnesota and where I'm going with this is back to my argument. Minnesota put a ton of points on the board against a great Cardinals defense, and they really struggled against the Bengals. So you got in-game adjustments.
Yeah.
I hope the Bengals sit down and say, hey, let's make an in-season adjustment. And I know we got great offensive weapons, but really let's ride our defense as far as it'll take us. Because they are stacked, they are consistent, and if we really invest and go to the 2000 Ravens, to where they had 5 consecutive games where their offense didn't score a touchdown,
Right.
and they won all 5 games.
Right.
I'm not saying the Bengals have an offense like that,
But they have a kicker that can score.
Kicker that can win. You've got a defense that can play consistent and reel everything back in, and just let your defense win the game for you.
For that kicker, which I think was the best draft pick, one of the
It's
steal.
Sebastian Janikowski-esque, man. It's a great pick,
you get on the other side of midfield, he's in field goal range.
right?
It's true. So when you have a kicker like that, if you have a defense that can keep you in the game and an offense that can move the ball enough to get into field goal range or close,
We got a great kicker, a great punter.
you have a chance to win.
Yes.
And that's where I said, Burrow, there were those 3 passes, that was awful. They were bad.
Yeah, the 2 were definitely just everybody's heard it. Everybody's heard the takes on it. He eyeballed his guy the whole time, and he was predictable. The 3rd one, it is what it is, man. He got hit, bobbled, bounced. It's
But it was 3 in a row.
It's 3 in a row, and that's all.
Yeah.
All the excuses you can have in the world. You know what? It didn't work.
It was bad. It was
Yes,
bad. But
yes.
On the plus side, you're still in first place. As bad as it was, you're still in first place. Everybody in the division is now 1-1.
Yep.
You've got your first division game this weekend against Pittsburgh. So it's one of those things. It's probably going to be a very, very similar game
I think
to what Chicago just was.
and I'm going to go bold on this. And I'm not a big Bengal backer.
I know you're right.
I think they're going to slaughter Pittsburgh this weekend.
That would be nice.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be one of those games that you watch from beginning to end, and you say if they play 10 times out of 10, the Bengals are superior in all aspects of the game. And that's the first time I've ever said that in probably 20 years, man. I just think the Bengals. I think the Steelers are that down, and I think the Bengals are. They do have a new mentality.
It's different.
So I'm going to say the Bengals win by 12.
By 12. I don't know if I never jump in on anytime it's Steelers week. I just can't. There's just a stigma, and until it's broken, I can't get on it. Trust me, there's nothing that I would like more than to see. This is gonna sound terrible, but Roethlisberger not play, preferably an extremely hard hit, knocks him out for a couple of weeks.
Yep. And I think that's where we're going to win the games. He's just not who he was.
But then the problem with that is it goes back to the whole Brett Favre scenario, segue into Tom Brady scenario, to where that starter, that starter.
How sweet would it be, and I'm just going to get poetic here for Cincinnati, if we rattle Ben Roethlisberger's cage so much, and I don't want injury on anybody.
No.
But we absolutely just, because there's so much talk about him. Is he done? Is he done? He's old. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look this. If we just come out and really put it on him.
See, you're going to get me hype.
And then Ben Roethlisberger gets benched, and Ben Roethlisberger's done.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
How
Alexa,
sweet would that be?
Since I am hype, Alexa, play Welcome to the Jungle.
How sweet would that be for this town, right? To state claim that we retired Ben Roethlisberger.
Here's the
A Miami of Ohio grad. So I mean, there's a lot of good things to say. He's a Hall of Famer.
That was the last time I rooted for him. That was the last time I rooted for him. But that's, my fear as a Bengals fan, right? Because we have this stigma, everything. It's the Bengals. How do you lose? It's the Bengals. And that's what this team is trying to break through that. And I like some of the stuff they're doing. I like the aggressiveness. I like, hey, we're going to go for it. Even though we talked about it, I thought it was stupid. If that's going to be your mentality, fine. I'm okay with that. Be consistent, right?
Yeah.
Back in, I want to say it was 1992, the Bengals were playing the Packers and winning the football game. And it was a decent Bengals team that's only a few years removed from the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And they're playing the Packers in Green Bay. Don Majkowski, the Magic, Man, was the quarterback for the Packers. He gets knocked out. Replaced by number 4,
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre, who ultimately never relinquishes his starting spot and becomes one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and beats the Bengals that day, right?
Not going to happen. We're going to retire Ben Roethlisberger this weekend.
Flashback 20 years. I saw this today. 20 years ago, the quarterback of the New England Patriots was...
Oh, I like where we're going with this, man. And it's Drew. Remember those commercials at ESPN? Drew bled, where they had to get creative, like Drew bled so much.
Yes,
and Chris Pratt were like,
yeah.
So Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe, quarterback. He quarterbacked for the Patriots. Gosh, I want to say probably.
Oh man, so fantasy football. The first year I ever got into a fantasy football league was 1997. My first ever draft pick in fantasy football was Drew Bledsoe.
Is that the same year? Did they? Now that we're mashing things together,
they went to the Super Bowl against the Packers that year. Yeah,
quarterbacked by
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Yeah,
right. 20 years ago, probably the biggest injury in NFL history happened. Bledsoe goes down, replaced by...
What's his name? Can't remember his name. This guy down at Tampa.
Yes.
He was in New England forever.
The greatest quarterback of all time.
Oh.
Tom Brady.
Yes.
And since then, he has compiled...
Everything.
How many Super Bowls?
7. He has as many Super Bowls as any other organization.
Yes.
Steelers have 7, right? No, they got 6.
6.
So, yeah, it's 6. So, Steelers and Patriots are tied at 6, and Tom Brady has 7.
20 years ago today, that happened.
Tom Brady's not getting a Super Bowl this year. The Rams are. So, this is
look pretty
interesting,
good.
Man. Yeah.
They look pretty good. Adding a guy who never got enough credit in Detroit. Now, all of a sudden, he's got some
Rams
people
are going to win the Super Bowl, and Lions are going to go 0-17.
Yeah, could be. Very well. Could be.
So Tom Brady. We are going to. I hope we don't give birth to the next Tom Brady, right? By
I hope it's here.
Suffocating Ben Roethlisberger. It will not be an injury. It will be dinks and dunks and hitting and roughing and interceptions and just for change of pace. The game's going to be out of hand. They're going to put somebody in, and the Steelers organization is going to have some heavy thought on which direction do we need to go. Who is their backup quarterback?
Who was the guy from...
is it the dude that played XFL? Maddox?
No, yeah, that guy. No. Oh, shoot. I'm drawing a blank. He was a Ohio State quarterback 2 years ago. Washington drafted him.
Cardell Jones?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
He's their backup?
Yes. Former number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that can't happen. See, that's, as a Bengals fan, that's where my head goes. you almost want to take the enemy that you know as opposed to the enemy that you don't know. You know,
That's good.
And so, like, even this week, it was like, well, I like Andy Dalton. He did a lot of good things here. Probably I don't want to say the best quarterback the Bengals ever had, but in terms of, like, I think he's the winningest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he was a reliable quarterback. Upper echelon, kind of on that. He was probably just above middle tier.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of, but for what they had and the talent they had, he worked here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And for 9 years, you knew if he was in the game, you knew exactly what you were going to get. And it wasn't going to be bad. Wasn't going to be great, except for 2015. My argument, if he doesn't try to make that tackle on an interception, I think he ends up winning MVP. Because that Bengals team was phenomenal. They missed a quarterback down the stretch. You had A.J. McCarron, who did the best he could with what they had, led them to what should have been a victory at Pittsburgh. I think they either go to the AFC Championship game or to the Super Bowl if Andy Dalton's quarterback. They had a good defense. They had a great offense. You had Bernard. You had the son of a gun that fumbled the ball, Jeremy Hill.
Yeah.
He was still young and solid. Green, Marvin Jones. I know I'm drawing a blank on the third.
Going down memory lane here.
On the third receiver, Tyler Eifert was
Yes.
the tight end.
Yes.
Mohamed Sanu.
Yes.
Guys that left here and became...
Who they were. I think they were studs here, and then they left and remained studs.
Marvin Jones is the number one receiver.
Right.
Since
They were
the moment he
studs
left
here and went on and remained
Mohamed
studs.
Sanu,
Yeah.
maybe not a number one, but a pretty daggone good NFL football player.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Eifert really never has kind of...
Yeah, he couldn't get over the injuries and beaten up, and that was a shame, man, because he was a stud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, without question. But I look at that, I'm like... Last week, then Fields comes in and does the one thing. It's like, the choice would be, would you rather beat Roethlisberger head-to-head, which has happened before, it's rare, but it's happened, or let the backup come in, and then as a Bengals fan, you're like, this dude's going to throw for 300 yards, 4 TDs, and we're screwed.
Right.
Roethlisberger, it doesn't matter what you do to him, you could literally knock his head off.
And he's going to get back up and come back in.
Yeah, he's going to go on the sideline.
He's probably going to...
He's going to grab a new helmet with a new head in it, put it back on, and
he's
step
going
right
to
back
get the
out.
pass off.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, the guys...
Look at the 2015. That was the deal. Oh, he can't throw the ball. His shoulder, he can barely... It's like, really? I don't know if Roethlisberger's going to come back in. Then what happens? Roethlisberger comes in, finds a couple guys that are open. Here we are. Jacob, Thaddeus was a great pickup. Hopefully he does well. There was a reason that he wasn't drafted. For whatever reason, there was a reason that he wasn't drafted. I loved it that he was here, but I hope you're right, and I hope he gets another chance, and hopefully it is here. But I did like him. So, this week they got the Steelers. The following week, it's Burrow versus Lawrence again. Thursday night football. So a huge win against the Steelers. Go into Thursday night. Jacksonville comes here.
Another bad football team.
Yeah. I mean, so you got opportunity. That's why, when people ask me how much did they win, I said 10 because I looked at the first 4 as strong win chances.
John Marizzi, I'm a coffee guy.
What?
I think I'm sticking with my picks, man. The Bengals are going to number 20, 1990 Rock number 20.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This might be one of my playlists.
So we are going to segue into the Cardinals Reds and the Red season.
I don't want to.
It'll be short-lived.
I don't want to.
But
at all.
I want you to
Disappointing.
post it, Johnny. When I call it, man, the Bengals are going to wear out the Steelers this weekend. And I'll come in and wear my Bengal Santa suit.
They keep wanting to put me into I don't want the 90s. I want 19. Oh, that's never mind. I found out why. Bear with me.
I love your line there, Johnny. Winning organizations find a way to win.
Tough to
That
beat.
is so true.
It's tough to beat. Look at here we are. We're at Steelers week. The Cardinals are going to overtake the Reds. Going to go to the wild card. I mean, all that excitement, 30 days ago. 20?
Yep.
Alexa, play Way Down Now by World Party.
4.5 games out. How many games are left?
Not enough.
Not enough.
And they re-upped.
152, so 10 games left.
Yeah.
10 games left, 4.5 out.
And they re-upped David Bell, which, I don't know.
I think we play the Pirates 15 more times in those 10 games.
Yes, 15 more times. I don't know. I'm iffy on, man, we had a lot of fun as Reds fans this year.
I agree.
I think we get caught. The sad thing is, and it's not just here, this is everywhere, you get caught up in the players that you have, right? And, so you've got a guy like Nick Castellanos who's having a great season, but he's not going to be here next year. He's just going to basically price himself out of what the Cincinnati Reds market.
Yeah.
So you look at that, you kind of, as things are going really well, you look at that during the middle of the season, it's kind of bittersweet. It's like, oh man. You wonder how much in a clubhouse some of that takes into consideration.
I mean, they'd have to.
I mean, these are guys
all
you're
in.
hanging out with, you're around all the time.
Yeah.
And guys having, at that point was an MVP type season.
Yeah. I think once free agency hit big and heavy in the 90s, man, I don't think players care that much anymore, man. And I'm not in the clubhouse, I'm not in locker room, obviously, man. But it's just from what we see and you hear interviews and the players themselves are conditioned so much to say it's a business. I have to remove my emotions from the business side of this, and I think that's numbed them. You get a few exceptions to the rule, going back to our 20-year vet of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That takes pay cuts because he wants a few guys to stay. He's going to do whatever he needs to do, but I don't think you have enough of that mentality in the league to keep things, to keep a core going. So it's like once a team's good, the first thing you look at is, unless it's a Yankees or Boston that are mega wealthy community.
Now go back.
towns.
Brady's been in the league for 20 years.
Yep.
Okay. So Brady's also married to the richest supermodel on the planet.
Okay.
He's kind of living what I would call my dream, right? He could be the stay-at-home dad if he really really wanted to, right?
Sure.
Yet he makes tens of millions of dollars every year.
Right. But
She makes 10 times of what Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, makes. So it's very difficult to compare a guy like Brady taking a pay cut because he's really not taking a pay cut.
fair to bring to the table. But you don't think his competitiveness is so much that he's willing to take a pay cut? Even if he never met her.
No.
And they weren't married, and it was just his salary. You don't think he's going to look around and say, I want Gronk. I know what I need to win.
Look
If
at
I
Aaron
have to
Rodgers.
give up, what about, I'm talking about,
But look at Aaron Rodgers. Great quarterback.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame quarterback.
yeah?
Holds out. Wants a different contract because he wants to go elsewhere. Needs the weapons. But the NFL is a business. There aren't guarantees.
Sure.
Tom Brady's next pass or Tom Brady's last pass could be his last pass. Same thing for Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys that get that money, they want their money.
Sure.
Everybody wants their money. Nobody's going to say, hey, you know what?
And the numbers we're talking about are ridiculous. So if a
stupid.
$12 million
Yeah.
a year contract or a $10 million a year contract, if I can free up $2 million, I will.
But you have
I'm okay off 10.
You have two guys right now in their careers
Yep.
that are probably on equal footing. Rodgers, you could argue, is probably, at this stage in his career, a better quarterback for the 2021 season than Tom Brady. Physically,
sure.
Whatever.
Woot or whoomp.
Yes,
What do you like better? Right? Coke or Pepsi?
So he's out here saying he needs receivers. He needs this, this, and this. Packers don't do it. They draft a backup, or they draft a guy to take his spot. Like
Patriots did that a couple times, man. They were preparing for the future to get that backup guy.
they didn't expect Brady to play again 20 years in
Correct,
the NFL.
correct.
Right? And there is a time where you cut ties.
Yeah.
A lot of times, what happens is, you might see, we talked about it before with like a David Fulcher or even an Anthony Munoz, that they go to another team. Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep calling him Favre.
Definitely sidetracked with the culture in the clubhouses and the locker rooms
Right.
as far as keeping a team together, because you can look down and say, hey, guys, we've got what it takes to win. Like, we can win. Oh, for $7 million a year?
Yeah.
More than what I'm making now? Or 10 or whatever that number is. It's like, do I want to win or do I want $7 million? I want $7 million. I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a culture of professional sports that you get a few teams that build to win. And it's usually those, like your Oakland A's, your under payroll, gritty, feisty teams that
flash in the pan.
make these runs that everybody's like, where are they coming from? Because they're all prospects. They're all underpaid. They're all
Right.
overachieving. And then once they get that status, that you look around at each other in a locker room and it's like, we can win,
Yeah.
but I'd rather get paid.
No, you're absolutely right.
And it's like, I think that's the tone of most locker rooms. And I think,
But in
I
baseball,
do think Brady has changed that
I don't.
enough to say, hey guys, I'm coming down here, and it's the same thing to speak to like LeBron and the Dream Team down in Miami when they all got together. All three of those guys could have gotten paid more, but they said, you know what? And again, we're talking ridiculous numbers, man. But Wade, Bosch, and LeBron, from what their market value was, they were all paid significantly less than their market value, just to bring the team together.
I think
wish
you're
there were
talking
more of that.
I think you're talking apples and oranges there, because when you're talking about
Apples
Dwayne,
and pumpkins.
yes, yeah, apples and pumpkins. When you're talking Dwayne Wade and you're talking the NBA, you're talking about, you're not talking about an Aaron Rodgers who has been a lifelong Packer. You're not talking about Tom
Wade
Brady.
was a lifelong Heat.
LeBron wasn't.
Correct.
Drawing a blank. Who was
Bosch.
Yeah, Chris Bosh wasn't. LeBron wasn't a lifelong Laker.
Correct.
Kobe was. You can argue Kobe gave up a little bit. Hey, let's bring in Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
We'll win championships. I get that. But that's one player, right? Everybody else was good, but a supporting cast. And I don't know this because I don't follow the NBA all that well, but the NFL doesn't have guaranteed contracts.
Correct. They do not.
So for somebody to give up money, it's a lot more than somebody in baseball saying, if I'm making $20 million and this team's offering me $30 million guaranteed, or $10 million, $10 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Does a guy take that discount to stay someplace, whether it's Cincinnati, whether it's Kansas City, whether
I don't know. Let's get Joey Votto on the show.
Hey,
He could have gone. I think.
I mean, they gave him.
He's easily one of the top 5 hitters in our
Sure,
era.
no, absolutely.
Or in this era, not
He's
our
probably
era.
the- he's
I think
probably
we've
the-
seen significantly better hitters, but
You could argue he's probably the best overall hitter the Reds have ever had.
man, that's bold.
It's
that's
really
good, though.
bold,
I
but-
think it's worth. Yeah.
But Pete, number 14,
Yeah.
has said,
Put him aside, and it's Pete and everybody else.
correct, or Johnny Bench, here we go. This is not a route we're going to go down. It's a route we know. It's not a route we're going to go
Hal
down.
Morris.
Yes.
Nick Asasti.
Now I could go down the list of random people. I love, on Twitter, there's one that's like random college athletes. And it's like completely, like these people, like they never made NFL or NBA or whatever. Like they're probably working in some business somewhere answering phones or managing something,
Right, real estate agents or
something. Yeah, and it's like there's this guy's picture, almost like a football card or a baseball card, and like random athletes, such and such played here, blah 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 blah. I'm like, how did somebody find that? Yeah, like, the dude's in an office someplace in Iowa. Like, hey man, did you see this?
right.
You're famous. Like, you're the random athlete of the week.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I could do that with random Bengals, random Reds, random Bearcats, all those types of things. That always cracks me up. But anyway, so
The Reds are they're done this year. They're done.
They're done.
10 games, 4.5 out,
They're
you're
done.
done. It's not happening. So, but with the contract, the whole dispute of a team looking around saying, "Hey, we're close, we can do it," or do we take paychecks? Are the Reds done again? Is it rebuilding? Do we have anything to look forward to next year? Are they
man.
going to re-sign anybody? Are they going to pay people what market value or what's going to happen with the Reds next year?
I mean, theoretically, I guess. I mean, you'd love to have Castellanos back, right? They were missing Jesse Winker down the stretch. That sucks. Votto, for a guy that's
He
37, 38 years old. Other than Bonds, I don't remember a 37, 38-year-old player in a long time putting up those types of stats.
That's just
and he's in tremendous shape.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, man, what the heck happened to you for the last 3 years? It was like 3 years of nothing.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you come back to like, oh yeah, we remember who you are. Like, to me, like my generation, like my favorite Red of all time is Eric Davis.
All right.
I gush over Eric Davis. Like it is a man crush on Eric Davis. I've got a signed baseball right up there that took every ounce of my being.
Not to cry.
Oh no, I looked like what's the kid from Christmas Story? Ralphie.
Yeah.
When Ralphie goes up,
He just pushed off the slide.
yes, that's what I look like. I mean, I couldn't even talk. It was brutal, and I was like, oh, now I know how Ralphie feels like. I walked up there like, and Eric Davis looks at me and goes, "Do you want a football?" And I go, "Yeah."
And this was what, last week?
Yeah, could have been. Could have been. No, it was quite a few years ago. We caught up with him. I caught up with him at Reds Fest.
In all fairness, man, I did the same thing with Mark Grace, man. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I could see that.
When I worked at Lids downtown Tower Place Mall, it was Hat World then, where we were off the
hats.
Skywalk. We saw everybody from. Remember the rock group POD?
No, but we can play some.
We are.
Oh, yeah.
Youth of the
Yeah.
So they came in the store. Dwight Yoakam's in the store. I had Randy Johnson, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire. Like I would just see all these people all the time. Tony Gwynn had a good conversation with him in there.
That'd be awesome.
And it's like people would just come in, and it was just I was never starstruck by anyone. I'm like, this is cool. And at the time, Tony Gwynn is like, whoa. So we're talking, and I saw Mark Grace, man, and I was just like. Do I tell him I'm a fan?
Football.
I love you. Like how? Because anybody else, you could just spark the conversation. Like Corey Dillon, Chad John, like all those guys would stop in the store. Like who was the running back? Kajana Carter. Like so many people would come in the store. They just talk to him because I didn't care. Like right. So it's like, oh hey, what's up? Good season, good game, blah 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 blah. Whatever. You live here in the season, off season, just. But Mark Grace, man, kind of.
Yep.
Like, dang it.
Move along. Move along. No, you're absolutely right. You can't really see here, but I've got a giant shadow box that I got for Christmas of Joey Votto. And it's like my favorite thing down here. But I think he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame for ultimately changing the way people looked. Not maybe you and I in general, but the way people looked at players.
What do you mean?
Strong, the analytics, the sabermetrics people, like Joey Votto is one of the greatest of all time sabermetric players. The WAR rating, the balls put in play, the exit velocity, all these different things that you hear now when you're involved in baseball and you listen to, a lot of those came about because of a player like Joey Votto.
Yeah.
The average is no longer the most important, the most
Get on
important
base.
thing. It's all about getting on base, however
Yes.
you can.
Get on
Take
base.
walks, and Joey Votto was great. He's great at taking walks, putting balls in play, hitting doubles, hitting home runs. I mean, in this era, that's what they look to.
Yeah, he definitely changed the perspective of all in on that. And I guess just to add to that a little more is, so again, Mark Grace, my favorite ball player of all time. I could probably present tons of cases on why he should be in the Hall of Fame. Had more hits than any baseball player of the 90s.
Hall
had
of
more
Fame
doubles.
storyteller.
Yes. Had
That I
more
know.
doubles than anybody. And his quote is, I've turned a lot of triples into doubles. And the guy just hit. I mean, he was. But in his era, he was competing against Cecil Fielder, Mark McGwire,
At a position that was
Frank
driven
Thomas,
by
power hitters.
Yeah.
And when Votto came along, I think it changed the narrative.
It did.
And it changed what people wanted out of, and then the movie Moneyball. So the landscape of baseball really changed, and it's we want guys on base.
Right.
And that was, which I live and die. That's
Yeah, I
one
mean-
philosophy is bringing Paige up the pipeline is I get on base. There's nothing else more important than getting on base. You're gonna have you're gonna hit your seeds every now and then. You're gonna hit dink and dunk every now and then. None of it matters. There's gonna be errors. You put the ball in play and let the dust settle, and you will have a higher batting average at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Without question.
No, I think that's true. And
So
you look at a guy
if
like
Grace were now, he's Hall of Fame. Grace coming up in his era that he was.
I won't disagree with that. I like Mark Grace a lot. I think the difference between a guy like Votto and Grace was Votto's probably been on it, and again the playoff structure's changed too.
Yeah, you're
since then.
right.